value Yasha here, it looks like. Going for that movement speed advantage, and will now just go towards the Aghanim Scepter. Looking to beef up a little bit, and in about 1,600 gold, he'll find his way into that super short Viper Strike cooldown. KPG getting very aggressive here. Let's take a look at the dire vision, and they don't have too many wards down, just really about the Roche Pit and the entryway to the Radiant Jungle, and that's where they're farming right now. Pretty efficient use of the map. Looks like they're eager to fight once more, maybe pressure this Terrorblade. They do ping him out. PSM gets a little bit of vision. Looks like he'll put a ward down, a lane ward in the bottom lane. I thought he might look for the plateau, but nope. Maybe a sign that KPG will look to breach the high ground if they take a successful team fight. Some more core items have come out. BKB now up on the Razor, who is soon to be level 16. And I thought there was another big in here. Oh, Bat Rider. He finds himself the Power Tread. So now moving a little bit faster. Always good news on him. And, well, can TP around, be a little bit more mobile, all that good stuff. Of course, BOTs did get a decent buff in the last patch, 50-second cooldown compared to the 65 of teleport scrolls. So, just a good value item in general now. But core on the Bat Rider, nothing surprising. xGame will be the ones to group up in the top lane. It will be a full 5-hero rotation. They want to put some pressure on this tower. Both sides have the glyph available, and it looks like KPG are there already, chipping away at the tier 2 in the mid lane. Weaver doing as much damage as he can, and this tier 2 up top will get glyphed as PSM throws out a cast. One of the illusions will start chipping him down. And this tower will fall if they're not careful. Off to the side, Equal taking a lot of damage. Will get interrupted as he tries to TP out. It's a close call, but he will not survive. It's a 1-0 to get things started. Mantis trying to TP home. It won't happen for him either. Gorak catches him in the lasso. Plenty of damage to bring him down. Mantis looking for the kill. Gets off a big Sunder onto Tree, and we'll be able to turn it around that way. The living armor keeps Gorak alive. Mantis makes it a 1-for-1, but still loses his life. End of the day, it's a 1-for-2. Neither side loses a tower, and KPG make the successful defense. Positive net worth change going the way of the Dire, about 1,000 gold, and a decent XP change going their way also. Well, power the Sunder right there, reducing that cast point in the last patch, maybe helping him out, a little buff ski. Of course, xGame didn't lose their gem. That's what's really important, still in the hands of the Ancient Apparition. Arts now has a full Mjolnir, and buffing up that attack speed quite a bit. I still think a Desolator would do him fine in this game. We'll see if that's an item route he wants to go for. Just not a lot of armor in general on the Radiant side, except that of Terrorblade. Perhaps that's deterring him here, but everyone else just very low armor. Even the Viper, who is the mech carrier here with a Yasha, not particularly high armor, and that Desolator would still be a pretty big damage buff. Also makes knocking down these towers a lot easier. That's one of the other great things about the Desolator. We'll see initiation in the top lane, or at least an attempt as Gorak goes in. He's thinking about it, won't be able to find initiation range for the lasso, and will be forced back. The Bat Rider has also picked up a gem, but Stallcat, he finds Gorak, Primal Roar, short range Ice Blast. He's now in shatter range, and that'll be the end of the Bat Rider. That freshly picked up gem will hit the deck, but can they pick it up? Oh, KPG will retrieve it. It's PSM that snags it. So minimizing their losses there. Never happy about losing your Bat Rider, but the gem makes that a bigger net worth trade than it has to be. Mantis in the front lines, taking some decent damage here. Stun out onto Gotham. Arts in the front lines. Mantis, he needs to get off a Sunder. Won't be able to find it. They'll lose their Terrorblade and their Viper. Down goes the Beastmaster, and KPG, they take the fight. It's a triple kill for Arts, and this Weaver, he's just too damn big. That was awkward positioning from xGame. They kind of just ran in there willy-nilly like spaghetti arms flopping around like they didn't really have a plan. And they got punished pretty hard. It's a 1-for-3 trade. A big change going the way of KPG. It's soon to be a 1-for-4. Equal will take the Leech Seed, just gets chopped down by the Weaver. They'll lose their tier 2 tower, and xGame, they may be in territory of conceding a loss here in the first game of this best-of-3 series. Remember, guys, this is single limb. This is going to be do or die coming up in the next game. And KPG off to one hell of a start. This Weaver still just has so much momentum. 10,000 gold, 12,000 experience. It will be a tier 3 tower kill. Glyphs already been expended. And there are no buybacks available. None whatsoever. They'll all be coming up in just a handful of seconds. But ranged racks fall. Melee racks go down to follow. And KPG will walk away one lane of barracks richer, still have that gem. They've passed it back over to the Bat Rider, and it looks like upon their retreat, they will attempt to take out the last remaining outer tower for the Radiant side. It will be this tier 2 here in the top lane, and why the hell not? xGame not really in a great position to contest it. Sunder was still on cooldown in that last Last little skirmish. Wow, I thought he was level 16. It's at that 80-second cooldown. Pardon me. I thought it was definitely up. Gorak hops in, though. Finds the lasso onto Stallcat. The follow-up damage is there. There's the swap from Equal. It will cost him his life. BKBs have been popped, but Viper just gets juiced. He's not nearly tanky enough. Double kill for Ninja as xGame retreat into the base. They've lost their tier 2 tower, and I don't know if xGame, or pardon me, KPG were going to continue to press the issue, but now they certainly are. Aghanim's has been picked up on the Razor, and they'll move up towards the high ground. Still no glyph available for quite some time, and they'll just start schmacking this tower. The Lightning Storm with a couple of seconds left will help them out on that front. It'll be the end of the tier 3, and this is soon to be a double lane of barracks. Another 2-for-0 trade, and KPG just furthering their gold lead by a huge margin in a matter of minutes. Got him, getting clicked down pretty hard, but Art's pressing forward, taking a lot of damage. That'll be the end of the Weaver. Mega kill streak ended. It'll cost him their Ancient Apparition gem. Nope, not going to hit the deck. Looks like he's passed it off before he goes down. Mantis coming out of the base. Perhaps looking for a Sunder, won't find it, and KPG will back out after losing their Weaver and taking the tier 3 tower, doing a lot of sure damage to the ranged barracks. They'll be happy with their spoils. They'll head for the hills, and they'll look towards Roche perhaps. We'll see. The RNG timer coming up here momentarily. Maybe they'll get lucky and it'll be a super fast one and they can just cruise right onto the pit, grab themselves an Aegis, then rinse and repeat, but no, they could only be so lucky. It'll be another 2 minutes before we see Roshan, and well, they'll have to be a little bit patient if that's what they want. Now, item progression. What are we looking at? Come on, Weeva. He's got 4,600 gold. You can invest in something. If he wanted a Desolator, he could just grab it. Go bootsless Weaver, all big items. Do it pure man mode style. Uh-oh, Botafaka down bottom. He'll get fucked on as he gets caught inside of the lasso. Ninja's there. Lightning Storm is on, and well, that'll be the end of it. I said Lightning Storm. It's Eye of the Storm. What am I talking? I'm making up spell names now. Oh, Viper. He's going to take another tumble. And I feel like that's been the moral of the story in all these team fights. Well, this Viper is just falling off. That casual Yasha not doing shit for him. BKB might have helped him out a little bit, but not really. I mean, the Lightning Storm, it's, there again, going to Lightning Storm. Physical going through BKB. Lasso, of course, it goes through BKB. So I don't know what this Razor does. He's just getting juiced all around. Look at this. They're feeling so squishy that Stallcat goes back for a 31-minute Vanguard. Oh, man, that's painful. It's rough when you're feeling so squishy that you just have to go back for a belated Vanguard. I guess he's looking at a Crimson Guard here. We'll be able to get a nice D-Ward with his Blink Dagger gem, but I guess a Crimson Guard would come in handy here. It would help to mitigate some decent damage from the Razor and the Weaver together. But just a little bit like, oh, it's flying form, Husky. Husky the Dusky. Dusky the Husky. Oh, a little cutie. Oh, I wanted to zoom in on him, but it looks like a team fight's going to break out. Terrorblade scouting out the Roche pit. He'll be up in about 15 seconds. And KPG, they want the Roche, but so do xGame. Regeneration Rune spawns as they smoke in. xGame, they've got everyone here except Weaver. They're doing a little bit of split push. He does have a TP, and they have this tier 1 standing, so he can get back into this fight pretty quickly. And he will force xGame to rotate back. We'll see Botafaka as well as Equal. Head back towards the safe or the top lane here as Mantis. They'll find initiation onto Ninja. He'll be the first to go down as Gorak. He lassos an illusion. Oh no. Now got him. He gets off a decent ultimate here. PSM laying in the damage. They'll bring down Reeves. And Art's still alive. He'll TP in now, dropping the hammer. Mantis has a Sunder. Arts needs to be a little careful. He's taking a lot of damage. Wild Axes fly through, and there's the little too wild. They don't do too much damage. It's a 2-for-2. The Greevil, what are you doing, Greevil? He's just hanging out. Oh, man, he almost gets taken out. He'll be able to survive. And, oh, it's an MKB on the Weaver. Oh, Jesus. He's going all damage. I think he's anticipating some evasion items, like maybe a butterfly on this this Viper, but he's not going to have that anytime soon. He's still working on his Aghanims. KPG will repel the engagement, though, and nice plays from the Weaver just to head to the top lane, pull back some of the forces of xGame, and then be able to TP in and clear, kind of take out the trash, if you will. So they'll go down with the Roche pit, and Aegis of the Immortal goes the way of the Weaver, and KPG once more a few steps closer to securing a win, still holding on to that 15,000 gold and experience advantage. And there's your Crimson Guard out on the Beastmaster. So we'll see if this makes a big difference. It does block a decent amount of damage for that 9-second duration, but it just feels a little bit like too little too late. I mean, Weaver's hitting really, really hard right now, where if you can just take 50 off of that, it's still pretty scary how hard he hits and how quickly he can do it. He will go in for a kill onto Equal up here in the top lane. Mjolnir buff already on. There are your Scarabs to get things started. A nice Chain Lightning proc out of the gate. Equal, can he make it back to his friends in time? No, he cannot. Arts will get broke. His Lincoln's broken. The follow-up damage is here, and Arts, that'll cost you a little bit more than you bargained for. That'll be your Aegis proc. And Alpha Ninja, he comes in, helps clear up the creep wave, and the follow-up damage won't be there. So, traded the Aegis for the Venge. I guess normally not the best of barters, but no, that's all right. I guess Art's just feeling a little aggressive. We'll roll the dice. Treant has a Sange, perhaps looking for a Halberd here, I would imagine. Yule's now up on the Bat Rider, and Witch Doctor, well, he's not going to find an Aghanim's anytime soon, but has himself a Ghost Scepter, just playing that position 5, hard support, not getting much farm priority here. That's okay. He still had a couple of key ultimates, and soon to be level 16, which could be a difference maker in this upcoming team fight here. This could be the final hold for xGame.kz. If they can't make it happen here, their base will be in big trouble. They're already down one lane of barracks. The top lane is exposed. They'll just be able to head down bottom. Buyback status, let's take a look at it. Not looking so hot. It's just the Terror Blade that's been able to pull up the gold he needs for a buyback. As KPG move in towards the high ground, looking at the dire vision, they've got a lot of it. Crimson Guard popped right out of the gate. Swap to get things started. Got him in the front lines. Will be able to overgrowth. Now the fight will commence. They'll lose the Beastmaster, Treant, and Vengeful Spirit as the fight begins. It's a 2-for-2 out of the gate, but Arts is the one that's still alive, just dropping the hammer. Mantis has already sundered, and Arts, there's nothing slowing him down at this point. Yules will lock the Terror Blade in place. Down he goes. He will have buyback gold here, burns it right away. The ranged barracks have already fallen, and KPG will be pretty happy with this fight. Whatafaka gets right back into it, and down he goes. Hops right to his death. Will be able to buy back instantly now that extra gold he found, but Mantis, he's the one in big trouble. No Sunder available. Arts chasing him down, doing the damage. Arts taking a lot of damage in return. He's got no time lapse. It'll cost him anything and everything, as he's the one to go down. xGame will make a hold here, but it's a costly one. Viper Strike comes out onto the Witch Doctor, but Yule's Scepter stops the Viper dead in his tracks, and KPG will mount a defense. So 2 buybacks were burned on the Radiant side to make that happen, making it basically a 3-for-4. We'll look at the recap here, and yeah, net worth change still in favor of KPG, 1,400 compared to the 500. But xGame do hold. Now the big problem is they won't be able to do that again. There's nothing stopping KPG from moving into that fight. They didn't have the Aegis when the fight began, and they can just rinse and repeat. Once Weaver comes up, do it once more, except this time he's got the power to right-click a Desolator or whatever other big damage item he wants, maybe just a Reaver towards the beginnings of a Heart. Regardless, Weaver's got enough gold for the beginnings of another core item. And xGame will be low on buybacks, and uh-oh, Viper, he'll get pulled to the high ground here. He's stuck inside of the lasso. Stallcat comes in, Primal Roar out onto Gorak, and maybe overcommitting, but PSM on the low ground. He's having a little dance party there. Gorak will go down as PSM makes it happen. That'll be a 1-for-1. Alpha Ninja coming in on Equal. He'll try to TP out, but it just won't happen. The Eye of the Storm doing too much damage. And it's the end of the Vengeful Spirit. Bat Rider buys back, and KPG, they want to end it now. They know there's a few heroes in the grave with the Viper dead. They know he doesn't have a buyback. Now Avenge will buy back as well. Glyph is forced out as they go onto the melee barracks in the top lane, and this looks like it will be the end for xGame.kz. Terrorblade coming up. If he gets picked off, I think that will finally be the nail in the coffin. Now the Weaver coming into the lane. He will have himself a Black King bar. 10 seconds of fresh magic immunity for this next team fight. No Glyph available. Mantis, if you've got something to make it happen, you've got to do it now. It's time to pull the trigger, buddy. Ice Blast flying through. Does connect onto the Weaver, but I don't know that that will quite be enough. Now the Tier 3 tower getting clicked down pretty hard. PSM and Alpha Ninja in the front lines. Leaving armor, doing some serious work here. Tier 3 tower goes down. One set of barracks standing between KPG and certain victory. Now the Eye of the Storm used. The range tracks soon to fall. There's the swap in. Alpha Ninja getting targeted down hard. He'll go down to get things started. Oh, Gorak, he grabs an illusion. Vengeful Spirit will go down next, but out comes the Death Ward. Look at it go. As the Ancient Apparition falls, it'll cost him their Witch Doctor, but Weaver secures the kill onto the Terror Blade. Now Beastmaster falls, the buyback from AA, but that's it. What else do they have? Viper will come back up. Arts will zone him out. It'll be the end of their melee barracks as they just go to finally finish it off. And now Mega Creeps will be secured. GG is called, and xGame will concede defeat as KPG, Kompas.gaming, take Game 1 of this best-of-3 series in the Summit 2 European pre-qualifier. Woo! All right. Well, what an opening game here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it is best of 3 series, so we'll have game 2 coming up in a jiff. Zayori solo casting away for our 2 best of 3s today, and we'll be coming back after this short break. Thank you so much for joining us here. Next game coming up next.